Yeah, right. Can I get everything arranged in such a way that actually...
Sam, you twit.
We are not having a Nocturne versus Lucifer's Call fight. That will not go well.
Lucifer's Nocturne. That's technically a plausible thing.
I
actually like the name Lucifer's Call.
I shall turn
it's
the
silly.
game audio, the desktop audio down a bit, and then... Oh, actually, no, the game will be quiet because it's down in the mixer.
Yep.
Have a bit more game audio.
And I will be trying not to make a bunch of clicky sounds with my fucking keyboard, because... Goodness me.
Right, I'm going to play on normal because
keyboard, right?
I'm a coward.
Yeah.
Ooh, normal.
Yep. I mean,
Even then it's hard.
yeah, there's no easy mode. I'd be playing on easy if I could.
The later games have an easy mode.
Yeah, but also this is kind of a late... Like, it's always interesting to think about how games get spaced out in series, because, like, you think of Dragon Quest, like, lasting a long time, but, like, 6 of those games dropped before PlayStation 1, and that's half the fucking series.
And then, like, Dragon Quest 7 launches on the PlayStation 1 in the same year as Final Fantasy X on the PS2.
Yeah. And, like, this is Nocturne, which is the 3rd SMT, and it's real late. Like, it's just drawn out so much, so, like, you say later, but it's not too far off from just, like, the swarm of fucking late Persona and stuff.
I'm gonna do the horrible weeb thing and name all the characters after characters from an IP I like.
It's it's a few years before, like, Persona 3.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. Persona was made to be...
How far it is off Persona 2, though.
That's a good question. What are you naming it after?
It was 3 years after Persona 2. I mean, the thing with Shin Megami Tensei is they never really stopped producing games.
Yeah, we just didn't get a lot of the side stuff.
Like, I mean, like, actually one of the main games didn't come out in America.
Yeah.
Which is an Xbox exclusive.
Right, that was a thing.
Yeah, like when I a few years back tried to do a list of all the JRPGs that have come out this century, bad idea. There were more publications in the SMT column than in the Final Fantasy column.
Yep.
A lot of those were kind of re-releases.
Hello.
Hey, Onai, long time to speak.
Yes.
Except for periodically showing up in my PMs to sass me about friggin' dogs.
What? What's wrong with me sassing you about dogs?
Dogs are good!
No, dogs are very good, except those ones which I think are a little bit too fluffy.
There is no such thing as too fluffy.
Yes, there is.
Wrong.
No, you're wrong.
No.
Thank you, Sam.
Yes, there is. This is me being a miser, and Sam, I can't believe you just betrayed me within the first 5 minutes.
I mean, Sam's a cat person. You can just dismiss his opinion on those grounds.
I'm actually allergic to dog hair as well.
Aww.
Yes, I'm here because there was no way I was gonna miss this stream of this game, and allow me, because especially it's been raining, I thought might as well show up in the DGC house and, you know, leave my wet coat on the sofa, and I don't know, I see Devon's already got a nice tea out, hot cup of tea out, so I'm just gonna swipe that from him and just
Who the
drink
fuck
it
do you think I am? I drink coffee, come on.
I don't... Play along with me here.
No.
So you go on the sofa and hang it up?
No. You do that, Sam.
Children, please.
It's not my sofa either.
Also, Becky, I just tore a bunch of pages out of your pun book to go and make into a bird's nest for the birds outside.
I mean, there's
Oh, and I brought
plenty more where that came from.
Also, I brought along a friend. Since you lot have been talking about, since the bane in the thorn of my side has been the long demon, I brought along a pal of mine, the giant abomination.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
No,
It
it's
isn't.
not long
Don't mind him. He's okay. It's just if you don't get on his bad side too much.
For some reason, I was looking at pictures of the long Furby. It's like a Furby, but it's really long.
Okay.
Fair enough. Are you sure it's not just a meme? That's...
No,
The
it's a real.
the short history of Long Furby, 3 hours ago on Vice.com.
Of course
What?
it's a Vice thing. Of course it's a Vice thing.
This is wise. Long Furby is the creation of a 23-year-old photography student turned wedding caterer who calls himself Aloe. Choose an idea that I had just had to get out and onto paper. Inspired by body-distorting memes like Longcat and their collection of 21 other Furbies, they found themselves wondering what if Furby was longer. What the fuck?
That's one of those ideas you should have just buried deep inside you and just left alone. But no, of course, it's like, it's the internet and it's 2018, you know. People are slapping images of Sonic characters with bits from whatever heavy tone communist text is available. So yes, Long Furby is a go. And this might surprise a few people, but you know what? I actually quite like Long Cat. I thought Long Cat was alright.
How do you feel about Long Cat?
No!
An
One
Atlas
long
range.
is enough.
What about Long Cat?
Too long.
No, that's Long Cat.
Yes, Long Cat would be 3 long.
What about in Zelda where you find the long cat?
Ah, nice!
Sam,
if you were not like 4 cities away, I would give you such a big high five right now. That was really good. God damn.
Sam, I'm gonna put cabbage in your hot dogs.
What an esoteric threat.
Yes.
I realized, like, fucking, that's actually a real thing. So, like, right, fucking sauerkraut's made of cabbage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's sauerkraut.
If it's made of cabbage.
Yes, I know. But, like, there's no other ingredient in that fucking recipe in Legendia that makes sauerkraut. Like...
But like fucking, I got like a vegan hot dog like last week, and they offered me sauerkraut. I said no, but I
Why? Sauerkraut's nice.
never really tried it and thought I'd be safe first.
Coward.
Also, yes, sorry. Shout out to the vending machine, Jack Frost.
Keeps your
I
drinks
like
Jack
this.
Frosty.
How like in the more recent games, like Jack Frost, like in Strange Journey Redux, Jack Frost is like self-aware that he's a mascot and like will join you in your party to help his public image.
Nice.
That's good.
So like, you know how in like Shin Megami Tensei Persona games you don't know the weaknesses of enemies until you've hit anything, and how you can just look up what they are. Strange Journey gets around that by not letting you know what the enemies even are first.
Yeah.
They just come up as like a fuzzy blur.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which I think is interesting, personally.
Yes, interesting. It's a way of circumventing a system that people just want to get around.
Man, this game looks PS2 as fuck.
It looks
Well, it's good. It's the good PS2 though.
No, it isn't.
I don't agree.
It looks like the bit of the PS2 that's bad PS1, as opposed to
Yeah.
like good PS2, which is like FF10 and stuff.
Are you talking about like the maps or just character designs in general? Because I will stand
I'm
for
talking
like
about the fucking shaders.
Yeah, mostly the
Yeah.
shaders.
Like, this is just like, wow, we can fucking have shaders. What the fuck do we do with them? I don't know, make it look like a PS1 game. We know what those look like.
It's the thing is like, I don't know. Even at this point, like Atlas is still like a mid. They still like kind of make mid-sized games. They're a lot bigger.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, they're not Atlas. It's like how you look at games around here. It's not around this area. It's not like From Software were the Dark Souls company.
I mean,
They was-
even looking at like fucking Dark Souls, that's still a lot of It still looks really PS2-ish.
True, but don't tell the fans that.
Fucking,
Also, if you like the name of that part, please check out the video I posted in the comments.
fucking if I can't tell the Dark Souls person that, they'll have to tell me how many frames per second Blighttown should run at.
Yes. Which
I mean,
I don't care.
apparently they fixed that and remastered.
I know they did.
It's good, but like, it's fucked that was an issue to start with how not great that game looks and how late it came in fucking 360.
I mean, it's kind
Let's
of.
move on from Dark Souls chat, shall we?
Coward.
I was just gonna say that's like the first like kind of game of that scale they did.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even though they did Demon Souls, a lot of that is like closed off and like in like you have a hub world and go to discrete areas.
And the one external area is pitch fucking dark as well. I don't know, one of the I suppose this bullet area is kind of external, but like the other place where you go outside is pitch fucking dark.
But even when you are outside, like a lot of it is not like super connected in the way that like Dark Souls is, where you've got to kind of be able to quickly load in the next area.
Alright.
Anyway, that was a creepy journalist who's definitely going to be up to no good later.
Yeah, but I like his weird snakeskin suit.
That's not where I want to go. Is that the medical centre?
The style of world map kind of persists throughout the series.
Yep, from 1991 until now.
So the one in 4 requires you to actually have a map of Tokyo.
Wow.
Yeah, and that map is part of the reason why I haven't finished 4 yet, because it's terrible.
If you have a map of Tokyo, it's actually not kind of as difficult to navigate. Like a real map of Tokyo.
Right, I have arrived at the hospital.
Instead of playing a game where I'll have a clicky keyboard, I'm just gonna play Prototype with a controller.
I was thinking of putting on Radiant Historia.
I like
So I
how
can play-
like you've gone to this hospital to see your teacher, and your friend is just sat here in the lobby going, "It's weird that the reception desk is unmanned and there's no one else around. I'm just gonna sit here though."
There's nobody here at all. It's like, I don't know. Gee, Tokyo seems very weird today.
Anyway, here's the Japanese 40 times. I guess. I used to live with somebody who got the 40 times. Never did ask why.
I don't know what that is. Is it some weird
It-
esoteric book?
It's like it's basically a conspiracy theory magazine. I'm not sure how self-aware it is. But they would.
Always a good sign.
You just find them lying around the house. It was weird.
Do you ever sit and read one?
No. Read the covers because they were just sat there being glossy magazine covers.
Yeah. I still think the character designs in this game look really, really good.
Ah, yes. It's left shoulder and right shoulder to actually move the cameras.
Especially Dante.
It's funny, but I always feel like of some of the games that I remember from the PS2 era, it's like this, Killer 7, I guess Under the Skin from what I remember, but nobody played Under the Skin.
I own Under the Skin.
Oh, you have it! Bloody
I haven't
hell!
played it yet.
Yeah, it's like those are. Yeah, of course, it's Kaneko. Those are like, these are the games where it's like, oh, you can go back to these and they still sort of look good because they're all really distinctive and, you know, realistic, but not realistic in a way where it's like, I don't know, this might be something that Becky and Sam might laugh at. It's not like The Getaway where it's like, at the time, it's like, oh, yes, mate, you know, it's actually in London. It looks real. And then you look at it now and it's like, this looks like pish.
I never played The Getaway.
I played a little bit of it, but I remember around my way with a lot of people, it was like, that game was kind of a big deal because it's like, oh, mate, we finally have our own version of GTA, but it's in London,
like,
innit?
That guy was kind of obsessed of making like open world games based on real places. Like, and trying to, because he did LA Noire as well.
I started playing that game because my computer can run it, and I'm playing through with a walkthrough because actually dealing with the fucking truth, doubt, lie thing most of the time is annoying.
To be honest, like it's like the way that game works is you don't really need to care too much about that.
Yeah.
Like the game will just progress no matter how you do the investigations.
Yeah, but I might as well get the fucking stupid achievements if I'm gonna play the silly game.
Yeah.
And also, just like I'm not super like I'm into Ace Attorney where it's not like a rating system because like the game judging me for being wrong about shit is like okay, but having health, that's another thing.
That's because literally Ace Attorney it's game over if you get it wrong.
Yeah. Too many times at least. Or
well, even when you get it wrong, it's still very judgmental.
Well, it's like like the thing about Phoenix Wright is you eventually have to get it right.
Yeah.
I should get back to the second one actually.
Also, it's weird playing LA Noire after being steeped in like. If you'll pardon the whitest way I could possibly say this very important phrase, being steeped in fuck the police for like a decade and a half. Because like, my aunt's a fucking police officer, but also I know that fuck the police. So like, going, no, this guy's a good cop is interesting. Also, it's like the 1940s, so like they can get away with a lot of bullshit. Like, hey, we're gonna fucking lock you up for not doing anything, and also we're gonna take you out back and beat you until you fucking tell us what's up. It's just like that probably still fucking happens, but I'm too white to have experienced that. So
I mean, one time I was in an RPG group, and because there were some LARPers in the group, they had a guy from the police come to talk to them about how to transport like fake weapons safely, and he was quite open about the fact that they would put people in the back of a van and beat them up to get information out of them.
yeah,
like, whew. Isamu's belt buckle is a lot. You are right, Saori.
Met for you.
Well, no, this was the Liverpool police. But,
right.
Yeah.
Also, check out this guy's cool hat.
It's not a bad hat.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who it reminds me of. I'm sure it reminds me of like several characters. And
Naoto.
Sorry? Naoto.
I was gonna say
Naoto.
Naoto.
Naoto is the obvious one. And also slightly the Aster Protoflorian.
Fucking goddamn it! You're right. And the fact that I know that name off the top of my head upsets me a little.
I mean, I like that FF13 is starting to shift towards that kind of Metal Gear Solid bracket where everybody knows what the bosses are called, even if you never really know anything about the game.
I mean, fucking, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
I have like an essay in the works.
An esoteric mob boss is saying, I look away for the duration of a Gravity Rush 2 cutscene and Isamu has been renamed Akio. Why?
Why?
Yeah, what IP are you using for your basis of things, Becky?
I'm tempted to just leave it a mystery. No, it's from Boogie Pop.
Of course it is.
Akio is
What?
Boogie Pop.
Oh, okay.
new anime coming out this summer season, allegedly.
Alright.
When does the summer season start?
June, I think.
Oh, cool.
We got 4 more episodes of a lot of 12 episode shows, so
Uh-huh. So probably late June then.
yeah.
Cool.
June or July.
It's always
Oh, so Tara, is that the film or the anime on DVD? Because that's an important question. Also, the anime doesn't make any sense.
That's fair. $7.
So, like,
Can't not.
I just paid 10 for fucking Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm not allowed to judge anyone's fucking buying choices.
yeah.
That's an RPG. That's a very high hour per dollar count there.
It's also a very high BioWare
Sam,
per dollar
no.
count.
It's whether those hours are good is another question.
Yep.
Wait, do I do not have an escape pass.
To be fair, a $10 hate buy was how my critical career started.
True. You didn't enjoy that game either, though.
Nope.
Which game was this again?
Time and Eternity.
Oh yes. Fucking. Oh god, you're near the end of year 3, aren't you? Of this.
Yep.
This is the last. Oh, what's in year 4?
Secret.
Yeah.
I'll find out soon enough.
Yep.
Year 4 is when DGC finally goes into like finally leaves nursery and goes to primary school. Whatever the
So-
RPG equivalent of primary school is.
Just on Boogie Pop, so the film is the story of the first novel, but it's a bad film. Like, it's just cheaply made and not very visually compelling. The anime is not actually the same plot. The anime they're doing this summer is probably the plot of the novel, but the anime is like a side story set between novels 1 and 2,
Oh.
which kind of means that it's very, very hard to tell what's going on. But it is like, it's in the same kind of vein as Lane in terms of being like stylized and interestingly stylized if you're into that sort of thing. Also, if you have any kind of fear of spiders at all, approach episode 2 with incredible caution, because I don't have a problem with spiders, but I have a problem with the spiders in episode 2 of Boogie Pop Phantom.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a problem with worms either, but I have been listening on recommendation to the Magnus Archive, and I'm getting very uncomfortable about them. Ugh. Listen to the Magnus Archive if you want to be creeped out. It is very good.
Right, so now this character who has been just waiting in the lobby of the creepy empty hospital has been sat here casually reading a magazine about how this hospital is the centre of a cult and just looks more relaxed.
There's a slight amount of concern in that face.
There really isn't.
So what,
She's
Becky?
kind of blasé.
Are you saying that she should be freaking out a lot more?
I would not be still in this building. I would be out in the street. Tara, be nice to Odai.
Shut up.
Actually, don't be nice.
Shut up.
Don't be nice to Odai. He's been leaving like wet clothes on the DGC furniture.
Shut up. I don't want to hear about the worms.
At the risk of starting discourse, where do you stand on Paranoia Agent? Where does anybody stand on Paranoia Agent?
Far away from it because I haven't touched it. So.
From what I remember, I liked it, and I liked the theme song.
The theme song is so good. It's one of my favorite anime openings.
It's I've been listening to, for some reason I've just like had that on like recently because it's just a good song.
It's a cracking tune. It's also a like the actual animation is great as well. I find like the opening animation kind of like unsettling. But that's kind of the point.
It's kind of the point, but like it's the most unsettling thing to me, like considerably.
Yeah. The outro is actually more unsettling if you pay attention to it in the context of the narrative.
Yeah. Also, I have a fun story regarding Paranoia Agent, which I'm sure some of you look at me even more as like, Odai, you're from a different planet. When for a period of time, I think our TV box didn't work, my mom was like, oh yeah, bring some of your DVDs out for something that I could watch. I forget what I was doing on my computer or whatever. Maybe get that old. Yes, I know you already do, Tara, I know. But I thought, she was like, oh, go and get some of your DVDs out. And I remember I looked through and I had like this old, like the very first like Star Wars, like original Star Wars trilogy when they first put in all the dumb CG. Nice. And I also had this copy of Paranoia Agent, which I got at a con. So
was it a Satoshi con?
Oh my god!
Go home. No.
Yes.
Go and put yourself in a box and throw that box in a river.
Oh man, thank you so much for that setup. I hope that sounded Tara exploding. How did your mother enjoy Paranoia Agent, Odai?
She watched the first disc and was like, she enjoyed it. She said she wants to finish it, but she was like really shocked at all the stuff that went on in it. So, but it was just sort of like, yeah, you wanted something interesting to watch, so there you go.
Well, there's actually a scene in the British DVD that's cut.
Okay.
So they can actually get, like, there's literally a scene that's cut from the, it's like one of the last few episodes with the, like the old man and the little girl who's dead.
Bro, okay.
Which is, like, literally they couldn't include that scene to be, like, otherwise they would have been refused classification. And, so yeah, if you do stream that show, it's an intense scene actually. It's played for laughs, but it's messed up.
Yeah.
And we'd rather not recount it.
Yeah, let's move on. Right, I'm supposed to go down into the basement, which sounds like a very bad idea. But now I have an access card and I want to go upstairs. That's an incredible burn, Tara.
Oh.
Where the hell was the way to the annex?
Might have to be. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh, I don't have the right card. Dang. Basement it is then. Well, this isn't at all worrying. There's
No, it's fine. It's fine.
crap all over the floor and blood spatters.
Excuse me. Oh man.
What's wrong, Devin?
I'm playing Prototype and something silly happened. Gonna grab this guy, and eat him.
We're back in Shadow Hearts.
There will be creatures with weird dangly bits very soon.
Tara will be so happy.
Well, yes it is. Yes it is, Leroy.
Oh boy, a creepy scene.
I love stupid stats.
Yay, creepy.
Wow, look at that motherfucker's hair.
Yeah.
That's some intense widow speak. Holy
Yep.
shit. I like stupid stats in video games, and Prototype has a stat that is just like, okay, you have casualties for civilians and military, but you also have military expenditure on every mission clear screen.
So I'm guessing this is the leader of that one cult that the magazine was about.
hmm And this is the thing. This is the thing that I really, the weird thing about this series that I really enjoy, which is we're gonna use the internet to summon esoteric demons. There's just something about that I love. It's like how, you know, in old ninja games like Shinobi, it would start off with like, you know, cartoonishly stereotypical Japan with kunoichi and samurais and all that. And then 3 levels in, you're like fighting military soldiers and attack helicopters and chemical abominations. Makes no sense, but it's great.
Face him! And there's the teacher. Why does the teacher want to save us so much?
No, children are the future. I'm sure as a lecturer you can understand.
I was invigilating today. It's the bleakest part of the job. Don't talk to me about work. Just 2 hours standing in a too hot room staring at my students having the worst day of their academic year.
What, Tara? What? I was just saying.
Right. That's where the elevator was, so I actually want to check this room as well. Get the proper creeps. Oh, it's the same room. I'm confused.
But also, just as a bit of a thing to share with you lot, I know there are 2 SMT related OVAs on YouTube. Don't watch either of them. They're both really bad, but for very different dumb ways.
What a ringing endorsement. I shall
Yeah.
watch them forthwith.
Oh god, you never listen to me.
I take great pleasure in never listening to you. Oh god, there's a tiny person. Oh god, it's a tiny
Where's-
girl. Or possibly boy?
The first one is yes. Yes, sorry. The first one is, and I forget if the second one is as well, but they're both bad. I know I can't, Tara, because you'll probably cast a horrible spell on me, which will cause me to, like, age 50 years in a minute.
Is that what happened to your soul?
Yes. Hence why I probably come off so exasperated with everything. I would rather just be holed up in my room and reading books. Don't worry, you won't hear any rants from me about the youth today.
How many years younger than me are you? Like 6?
Fair enough. Yeah, I know.
Oh, here we go. It's Akira time.
Yay, it's the end of the world.
Woo! And I feel fine.
If you weren't gonna say it, I was gonna.
I won't sing the whole song.
Thank you.
That's for the best.
I probably couldn't, off the top of my head, do the whole thing anymore. But I could once. This is pretty
I
good
love the
music.
AI in this game. This is dumb. They're pretty good FMV.
The music is excellent. I think it's well served by these earphones as well.
Of course they're gonna destroy Shinjuku. It's always Shinjuku. It's Demon City Shinjuku.
Oh, it's them again. this like Child Eagle? I'm very glad the resolution isn't high enough to give me too much detail of what's happening here.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's fine, you're just being infected by Yerk.
It put me more in mind of the bug scene in The Matrix, actually. But that scene gave me nightmares for a week, so...
Don't catch me, you fuck!
Apparently this one just gives me neon tats.
Very sick-looking neon tats.
They're pretty good.
Although I do wish you would put a shirt back on.
Weakness.
That's what this reminds me of. The fucking demi-themed stuff just reminds me of fucking... Or rather, the other way around. The Chromatus from Xillia 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it reminds me that there's a fucking skit where you can just be like... Isn't it weird how, like... Muse's naked, and then Luger can be like, well, when I use the Chromatus, I'm just naked too. And the other two are like, I don't want to hear that. Ow, fucking ow, brutes, ow!
Right, what am I supposed to do? Oh, we're in one of those creepy hospital rooms. Lovely. Please remember when you start, talk to the blue spirit outside. There's a blue spirit. Okay. Go south. It is not possible to go south. Oh, it's him again. Lovely. Plus 10 to character design, I like it. I have no idea what happened to me.
Plus 10 million to the character design, though. See? I'm not the only one who thinks the coat's sick.
The coat looks like 70s wallpaper. It looks like a lino that would have been an old lino in a kitchen at one of my parents' friends' houses when I was a child.
Well, it does kind of go heavy on the brown.
So does the entire colour scheme. It's not really the colour scheme alone that's doing that for me. I don't think the police will be able to help us here.
That's one of those references that's specific enough that I find funny. Oh, man.
Over my head. have I been streaming for to have only just reached a save point? 47 minutes. Nailed it. Although I think it's trust only your spikes in this.
Your spikes and your demons who you had to negotiate with. Which, that's gonna be fun, seeing how you deal with that, Becky.
It went so well during Persona, didn't it?
Indeed.
Okay, so that's the healing room. Which one was the elevator? Was the elevator around here? But the footsteps are so loud. You feel an extraordinary power from beyond the door. It's an elevator. Or not. That's not an elevator. So that's what chests look like. Ah! Encounter time.
Yay!
I leave for a certain amount of time and the destruction of Tokyo happens.
Yep.
Yeah. That happened. Sorry about that, Sam.
How could you guys let this happen?
Don't look at me. Becky was in control.
Game players are not responsible for the events of the plot ever. Blame Atlas.
It's I don't know. I've played the BioWare game.
Burn.
You also just fucking finished Ni no Kuni 2, which starts with that, so... The player starting Ni no Kuni 2 is responsible for the destruction of random American city. I don't fucking remember what that actually, like, analogizes to.
It's like New Yorkish.
What should I level up? People who know stuff about this game.
If I remember right, I think...
Don't go... If I remember right.
If I remember right, I think it's magic is the way to go.
I'm gonna look this up for you on a Google.
Just go full look.
Why is there a link to a Xenoblade X guy?
What?
This is fucking... What the fuck is up with Google?
So Sour is recommending strength.
Yeah, there's different builds you can follow, and they're all pretty much valid, but have obvious weak points and stuff as you go through the game, I'd imagine.
Okay.
So basically, if you're a normal, apparently you don't need to worry about it.
Alright, okay.
I mean, that's coming from fucking SMT players, so that's suspect.
Yep.
Yeah, but the important aspect of S&T is your party build and weaknesses, not so much the main characters. Like,
True. I'll go with
stats.
strength. Strength's probably safe for now.
And probably good because all you can do right now is punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's probably good to focus a bit, but
It's probably better to be lopsided and compensate for weaknesses with demons than trying to have an all-rounder.
Yeah.
I imagine.
so
Oh, hello, Kratos. Feel weird jotting about movements.
Yeah.
Massive.
Like, actually steering in this game is a bit...
So yeah, I'm looking. People recommend putting in strength and magic because you get a lot from. You get some of the physical spells earlier from strength.
He told me to go that way, so I'm going this way.
So yeah, and the one thing to bear in mind in this game is don't treat your party as sacred.
Yes, facts. Look at the Kodama. Just floating about, minding its business, and then deciding to kill you with wind. Or force, as some of the games decide to call it for some reason.
It's force, I suppose. Yeah, Zan.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of flavor they're going for. Because wind is a
Also
type
think-
of force, but like also it has elemental connotations, so it really depends
Yeah.
on the game.
I'm sure Zan and Garu have been in like games before together.
Yeah, probably.
But I know Shin Megami Tensei Fortress has Zan.
Yeah.
Garu. I like how some of the earlier like FMV, like all the Persona manuals just basically tell you, like have a list of spells. So I'd like to read through to make sure you remember what they are. The Persona 3 and 4 manual on PS2 was good. Very explanatory.
As a good manual should be.
A handy full recover.
On a second, I will be back in a bit. I feel in the mood for cookies.
God damn it, why do you have cookies and I don't? I'm back outside the elevator, okay. Dr. Dark, heal the wound, blah 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 blah. Watch the scene. Let's try the elevator again. Works this time.
Oh yeah, you can buy a bundle of Mega Drive games for consoles now. Again. Put another one of those out.
Ah. Go to the West Hall, that's this one. And enter the door just before you reach the stairwell. Oh. This is the wrong. Okay, this guide is definitely giving me the wrong directions.
Confusing hospitals! Hooray! It really is an SMT staple.
Right, here's the fucking lift. Take the elevator to the second floor. Right. Go to the West Hall. Door just before the elevator. No cube.
I'm back, and I have cookie.
Damn you.
Um,
There's a cube here.
I need to make some cookies.
It says
Yes, you do.
I have a recipe for some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies that are really good.
Nice. So when I went to go and get my cookies, I just caught my mom watching some David Attenborough documentary where it was the end of a giraffe fight.
Oh, giraffe
And
fights
one
are
of
so
the-
fun to watch.
What'd you say?
Giraffe fights are so fun to watch.
Fun?
I don't know, I've seen some.
Okay.
That's such a guilty admission. I don't know, I might have seen some giraffes fighting once.
They
It's
just
not
hit
that
each other
weird.
with their necks.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I
they
have
do.
also seen footage of this. Because at one point, giraffe evolution was relevant to a lecture that I was giving.
Of course it was.
Fucking, this is the least surprising admission.
I do a whole
Somehow.
bit in one of my lectures about how giraffes are an example of why evolution is weird. It's a good bit. It has a Michael Gove joke in it.
This sounds
Oh.
extremely you.
Yep.
Like I said, somehow not surprising.
What's the Michael Gove?
It's just about like lesser evolved individuals, basically.
Huh.
I first wrote this lecture back when he was education secretary.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, fuck that
I
guy.
know.
Every
Yeah.
year I get closer and closer to making it Jeremy Hunt instead. Although Jacob Rees-Mogg is now like well known enough that would probably work.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next prime minister. It'd be hilarious.
I mean, I live close enough to know people that actually voted for him.
Yay, Pixie! Ignoring that horrible, despairing news about that stupid fake PG Wodehouse character.
I hope I was supposed to recruit Pixie. So the recruits, backtrack 2 rooms.
Pixie's good to recruit anyway.
It is Tara, sadly, and also he named his most recent child Sixtus.
Bloody hell, I'd missed that detail.
Yeah, let me find the name.
Tooth Fairy.
I've started reading Historia.
Right, it says
But,
head east. I'm guessing that means head west. Because I'm not the only person who gets east and west confused. Ha.
It's literally fucking on the screen as well, that's the thing. I've started reading Historia and it's the DS version, so it's still got Index Corporation on the
Oh boy.
copyright.
Have fun with all the not being able to skip cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to spend like 40 quid for that version.
I mean, all the
Oh, yeah.
stuff it adds is bad.
Yeah, I don't like the art as well. And you have to
The art
pay-
is bad, except for it kind of makes the character design of the villain less glaringly anti-Semitic. It's still anti-Semitic, but
Yeah, I really like a lot of the look of like the DS game. A lot of the characters.
Also,
there.
being able to play it unfriendly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, thank you for pointing that out, Sari. Not Sari, sorry, Vox.
Oh my god.
And it sounds like a fake name, the Bakano guy. See, Jacuzzi Splot is a terrible name, but I feel he redeems himself by how well he does in the show.
I mean, that doesn't sound like he's a semen-related mishap. Sorry.
That's a phrase. Fucking hell.
Also, just to give
I
Tara-
live next to what used to be the Siemens Orphanage in Liverpool. The home for Siemens-related mishaps.
Okay.
Hi, Colleen.
Oh, hi, Colleen.
Oh, hello.
You came in at the most Colleen moment of the chat yet.
Also, Tara, if you want an idea of how posh this guy is, like, the name of his most recent child was called Sixtus Dominic Boniface Christopher Reese Mogg.
Wow.
I'm sorry. No, that's illegal.
That's beyond even Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson.
That's fucking like, you know, like in countries where like there's like a list of approved names and the disapproved names are literally to stop like kids being bullied. I imagine that's all one of those lists.
Yeah.
Cousin Sixtus does sound like the son of the terrible uncle in a Harry Potter knockoff.
But that's the thing. It's not just Sixtus. It's Boniface and Dom. Like, he put like 3 or 4 different names of popes in that one Pickney's name.
You're not wrong. That's a good way of putting it. There's a map, and I need to go there next.
God, I'm sorry to keep on banging on with this, but I had an idea of the direction where things were going with what Becky said. When I remember my mate Michael, who lives over in Ireland, who's not on Twitter anymore, said, you know, once the meme lads have taken to him, that was kind of it.
Wait, taken to Jacob Rees-Mogg?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
That's even less believable than... Yeah, I know it's less believable than Cumberbatch, but there you go. That is England for you.
Anybody know what Benedict Cumberbatch's middle names are?
Let's see.
Something deeply normal, I hope.
Benedict, like...
Benedict Timothy Colton Cumberbatch.
So not entirely then.
No.
It does.
Okay.
You're not picking up my eating, are you? So I can just
No.
turn my mic off.
No.
No. There's no bleed. Oh, cool. Analyze. Nice. Well, that sure is a large demon swimming in the lobby. Fornius. Okay.
Reminds me of when I went to London Aquarium when I was younger. I got to pet the stingray.
That was there was a lot of cookie in that.
Yeah, say that with less cookie.
Sorry. I was going to say that reminds me of when I went to London Aquarium once and I got to pet the stingray.
Petting stingrays is good.
Yeah.
I tell her? In the open area to learn about different types of futures. Okay, tell me about a bright future. They sound good. What about a dark future? Well, okay, that wasn't really much use. Right, head east down the hall and enter the first. Right, head east, by which the guide has historically meant west.
Now I just wonder if there's like some fucking like Twilight Princess issue where like one version of the game got mirrored.
Oh god. Or just the compass is misprogrammed.
Yeah, that would be a doozy.
Maybe even so, you should still go by the compass.
I mean, it could be. It's not completely implausible that it's actually an emulation thing.
Potentially.
Look up emulation issues then, because I think the compass goes the wrong way would be a pretty fucking obvious tell.
You'd hope so.
Like, what a fucking weird issue that would be, though! Who parked their car in the middle of this fucking military base? Oh no! I blew up a fucking gate by running into it. Now everyone wants to kill me. Good AI. Fucking shit! Ah!
Oh, it's a cute demon! Aw. Hello, cute demon. He gave me medicine.
Nope, they see me. Ooh, this is not good.
Well, Devin, I started reading The Lady of the Lake today.
Oh boy.
I can. It really feels like it doesn't need to be 500 pages so far.
That's my favorite kind of Witcher book. AKA, it's all of them. I don't like Witcher books, but they're all about as bad.
Right,
Like-
now head back.
There's definitely more padding now.
Fucking, like, of course there is. He didn't know where he was going.
It's one more.
We're in the middle of it.
Yep. And then we get to the games. The games!
The games!
Did I just... Oh, right, you don't choose with the demons, okay.
Yeah, 4-Job Fiesta's fucking happening. I'm gonna stream that again.
Hey. I think I should, like, just play that game normal.
I mean, it's kind of easy to break open even with 4 jobs.
Yeah, but I had a bad run when I tried the 4-job Fiesta last year.
I mean, I got Chemist, so I basically cheated.
That's a good start.
I honestly hope that I get a setup that isn't just like actually busted, but also I kind of want to run a blue mage.
Why is the menu on X?
The what?
It would be square, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Somebody tweeted today something about how now there is a
Me. I retweeted that.
oh yeah, major controller layout that for X to put X on each of the 4 buttons.
Yep.
Right. North to descend the stairs. Closed door, closed door. Pardon me.
Fucking Black Mage, Red Mage is a doozy, sorry, and it fucking sucks that you got that.
That is horrible.
I think the thing with me is I had nothing to heal with.
Yeah. Like, items that can be useful for that, but only to some extent. And also you need to get the money for them, or get them in other ways, and it just...
I think that was like Red Mage, Berserker, like Bard and Cancer or something like that.
I think my favorite and most fucked up thing to do in Prototype is to just invade a military base and then stealth consume everyone. Because you can just walk up behind them, stick your arm in them, and eat them. And as long as no one's watching, and the game won't let you do it if someone's watching, so it's just like, no problem here, I'm just gonna eat you.
I take it you're enjoying being an all-consuming evil monster, aren't you, Devin?
It's a fun game, and I love that the twist is you are the virus.
Yeah. I did think of getting that game at the time, but I never got around to doing so.
Yeah. I got into it because a Let's Player I watched at the time was like, hey, this game's pretty cool, and then I pirated it, and it ran on my laptop, so I was just like, oh, that's cool.
Okay. What was that? Do you remember the name of that Let's Player?
I do. I'm not going to say it, though, because I appeared in some of his content, and I became a meme for a while. I'm just not going to bring that up.
Oh, okay. Sure.
New mission.
I know who it is, and I know some stuff I was in, and I know the meme I became.
I feel like you'd remember who it was if you were a me.
Yeah, I was in the community, and I was a meme.
Oh, boy.
Where are we? I've done that bit. This encounter rate is increasing.
So I take it my voice wasn't coming through at
No,
all.
you were muted.
Yes.
Okay, I had my headset plugged in with the mic taken out, and it was trying to use the mic and not my phone.
Ah.
Oh,
Anyway, how are you doing, Miss Colleen?
File of Nocturne. Just got off of work.
Okay. How is your partner GameCube doing?
It's actually right next to me. It's set up like right in my room. Not plugged in or anything, just it's on the dresser.
I'm lost. This is bad.
Already?
2 hours in.
Do you even make it to like the overworld map?
No, she hasn't.
Oh, that's usually where people get lost in Mega 10 games, is the overworld maps.
I managed to get lost in the preview in the like preface section on the world map.
The world map in SMT3 is like mostly desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the problem that is SMT4's map.
I said earlier on the stream that SMT4 is a map you can like sort of manage if you just like keep open a real map of Tokyo.
I should have been paying more attention to the in-game map.
Is there a map switch?
Sorry?
Yeah, there is one.
I had asked, and my question was already answered by the time I'd asked it.
That's a ladder. I'm not going up the ladder.
I completely, totally forgot what the player character pre-Demi-Fiend transformation even looked like.
I mean, post Demi-Fiend transformation is the only bit that matters.
Yeah.
It happened so early, and that's what all the people want to fuck anyway, so... I'm not wrong.
I know you're not wrong. It's just the bluntness of how you put it. Oh nice, bonus strength point.
Yay.
God, why did they even bother having you name all the freaking side characters?
Because it's still kind of a PS1 game.
I
But that
guess.
was
I
just
mean,
like-
I mean that. I guess that is like the. The first and second one also had it, but. Eh.
That just makes me think of how in Tales of Vesperia, for some reason you're allowed to name all the party members in the menu screen and their text, but like that doesn't change anything about the characters themselves. And like none of the voice lines adjust, so it's just like fucking why is Flynn named whatever the fuck you want to name him.
It's still wild to me, like first fully voiced Final Fantasy, you still get to name Tidus whatever you want.
And the hoops they jumped through to make it like not completely unintelligible as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good work on that. Just a lot of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny
then
that
they completely ignored.
It's funny that I never even. Okay, you go first.
I was just gonna say in X2 they don't even fucking say his name. So they had to deal with that for 2 games.
Yeah.
Did you just get fucking demolished?
Yep.
Holy
Game
shit.
over. We got one game over already. People. We're
Yep.
in.
SMT.
I have not saved in a very long time.
Oh boy.
Oh,
like since the first save point in the game.
Oh, geez.
Boy.
Oh dear.
Becky, please.
I mean, I literally haven't seen another save point since.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is gonna be quite the playthrough for you then.
It's
Yeah.
good you have like 2 fucking months.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, I know Pixie has a heal skill. I thought I could get away with it, and I couldn't. I would have gotten away for it if Pixie's
If it
attack
wasn't for
hadn't
those
missed.
pesky little demons.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, I think that'll do for the stream for tonight, and then I'll replay all of that shit off stream because good grief.
Alright.
Alright,
Alright.
see you later.
Thank you for the company.
Alright, see you
and,
later.
good
Fun?
night.